Hello, I'm Ashley. So I'm going to be doing my weekly energy reading. This is going to be for the week of October 7th through the 13th. I did set the intention that this message reaches you whenever it's meant to reach you. So if you come across this video and it is not the week of October 7th through the 13th, but the message still resonates for you, then it is for you. So just kind of take whatever resonates. Not everything is going to resonate for you. And it's most important to listen to your own inner knowing, your own intuition. So like when I read the cards or I show the cards, it's important to listen to the messages that you're receiving from yourself. So I did ask 4 questions. I'm going to be using the Energy Oracle, the Rider-Waite Tarot, and I used Nature's Whispers. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, I've already pulled the cards. So the first question I asked is, what is the overall energy for the week? And the cards that I pulled are, which these to me are the same card. So Deceit and the Garden and the Gate. And to me, these are both cards about fear, kind of like letting fear run the show, anxiety, kind of just like dark energies. So guilt, shame, just like where are you lying to yourself? And this is 5 + 2 is 7. I mentioned that because the other two cards that I pulled were the World, and this actually came up in another deck in this reading. So the World is like a new beginning, starting something new. It's like expansion to me. And so I feel there's a lot of, and then with that I pulled the Hierophant, which this is about, I see it like as being guided by spirit. And like you see the 2 people down here, and this is kind of like, I feel like spirit is guiding this expansion, but there's like fear around opening up to this expansion, especially because like on the Garden and the Gate, she has the key around her neck, and you see she just has like some hesitation about stepping through the gate, because sometimes we have the tendency to think that what's out there or something that's new is going to be like worse, and so then we don't even give it a chance. But with the other card that I pulled came Infinite Blessings, and the number, can't see the number on the card is 17, so 7 + 1 is 8, and that's the number of infinity. And so I feel like you're worried, and this fear is unfounded. It's not necessary. I feel like the lies and the deception, it's a way of self-sabotaging yourself from having like the World and having this expansion and having this new opportunity, especially because you're safe. This is like being guided by the divine, by spirit. And I just feel like there's a lot of lessons happening right now. And so like you're kind of being guided and healed through these lessons spiritually. And so I feel like there's some fear about like trusting your like intuition, because that came up too. Actually, intuition came up a lot. Intuition and community. And so I just feel like that the overall energy is something great is happening. Though you cannot see it, you're supposed to be trusting yourself and recognize that the lies are a way of self-sabotaging yourself from having whatever it is that you want. And I feel that for a lot of people, what they want and what they desire is a relationship and like an intimate, like a deep connection with another person, because community is coming up and connection is coming up. And astrologically, a lot of what's happening, I set up for community. And being around like-minded people, calling in our soul families, calling in soul mates. And so I feel like there's a lot of fear because it's unknown, and it's going to expand your horizons and broaden your horizons. And sometimes that can be scary because we don't really know. We can't see the full picture. We can only see like a couple steps ahead of us. And that's what I feel like is, because next what comes up is I asked, what is coming up to be healed this week? And I pulled the Sun, which reminds me a lot of the World, kind of, because it's a 1 card. So this is like the beginning of something. And it came with yin yang in reverse, which in reverse it's yang. And I like to point out that this here is number 22, because with that I pulled Two of Cups, which this is a cup about relationships. It's a cup about lovers and emotions. And so that's why, and 2 is the number of relationships. And then with Two of Cups, I pulled Judgment. And so I feel like this is a new beginning in a relationship is what I feel. But to have this new beginning in a relationship, you have to take action and you have to stop sabotaging it, and you have to move beyond. You have to go past the gate. You have to move beyond the fear. As much fear, there's a lot of fear associated with relationships and love, and I just feel like especially for that comes up for me too. It's like I've experienced a lot of fear around love, but I know that fear is just like an illusion. It's hard to move through sometimes. It is. It can seem so real. It can seem so paralyzing. But to keep reminding ourselves that it is, like, I always remember now that whenever I experience fear, I tell myself it's just love, because I've associated fear with so long as I feel like it's fear, but it's really just love. Or like I want to be comforted. And sometimes, like, I've always gone to food to comfort myself, but now it's like about allowing somebody to comfort me, like in a relationship. And that can be scary because it leaves you feeling very vulnerable. And it's scary to be vulnerable, to allow somebody to see your heart, to allow somebody to have your heart. And, you risk the chance of them hurting it, so there's always that risk. And that's what comes up with the deceit is these lies and past wounding and past hurt is going to be coming up, because I also pulled King of Swords later here, which is all about like discernment and mastering the mind, which would be able to like see through the deceit, which tells you, okay, am I reacting to this? Am I having fear of this because of something in the past, or is it because I should really be scared now? Like generally our brains and our ego will try to go into overdrive to kind of protect us. And so I feel like that's what's coming up to be healed is, and then with that, I pulled new experiences and possibilities. So I feel like this relationship is leading to this, to new experiences and possibilities. And that can be scary because it's unknown, but I feel like it's going to be great, especially with the infinite blessings, is that it's leading to something. And this is the Judgment card, I feel, is like about coming, especially with the Two of Cups, I feel like it's about like really getting to know yourself, really getting to realize that, okay, for this is moment that you are the only one stopping you from having this. That like that's just what I feel. And I feel like the people in the card is like the masculine, the feminine, and the inner child. And I feel like this is like finally realizing like, okay, what do I need to change, or what do I need to do, or how was I affecting all the relationships in my life? Like how did I attract these? It's about really, I feel like, digging deeper into yourself, and that's what we're learning to heal, and then learning to take action on that and take action from like a new place. And this is also about creativity. And I do feel like it's important to take action on creative projects right now, and to like indulge in like a lot of self-love and self-care. Like I mentioned, like astrologically, it's really important to take care of yourself. And I feel like that's a part of like the taking action too, is learning to take action on how to take care of yourself and recognizing what you truly need, so that when you do enter into a relationship, that you know exactly what it is that you need from the relationship. And you can exchange, like I feel like, equally, because 2 is a number of like balance and like equality. And so I really like this card. And like they're both like offering each other. It's about like giving and receiving in a more equal, balanced way. And instead of like maybe in your relationships you tended to overgive, or maybe you were really pushy, or like, so it's just about like recognizing these qualities in yourself and then like taking the action necessary to either develop a more develop the quality that you love in your partner, because that quality exists in you, and whatever you dislike about your partner, that quality also exists in you. So it's just about like becoming aware and recognizing and using relationships as our mirrors, and we can really do that when we really get like honest with ourselves. That's what I feel like when I see this card, is like honesty. And we can only like be honest with another person, which this is like the opposite of honesty: deceit, lying, deception. And I feel like a lot of reason that people tend to lie or have this deceit is because, one, their ego is really big, and two, they just have fear. They want to like self-sabotage. They don't want to. It's safer for them to like lie to themselves, and then when you lie to yourself, you lie to other people. It's just kind of like a never-ending kind of deal. So that's what's coming up to be healed this week, is taking action on creating this. I feel like this equal relationship, this give and take, and we do that by like doing that within ourselves too. And also I feel like another message is to take action on creative projects. And I feel like once you do that, okay, so maybe it's about both. I feel like that's coming up for me, is like relationship and creative projects. And it's about balancing the two. It's about balancing both. And I feel like both of these things, I feel like this relationship and this new creative endeavor is going to lead to this new experiences and possibilities and these infinite blessings. So I feel like that's really good. That's a really positive message. I like that. All right. And then the next question I asked is, what is going on behind the scenes right now? And I love this card because, one, I saw it in my third eye chakra before I pulled the first card. I'm going to share the tarot cards first because that's what I'm talking about. But first I pulled this card, which is all about like meditation and deep rest. So this is what we really, I feel like, once I share the other cards, but anyway, this card, so I saw this card before I pulled this card, but then I was going to shuffle the deck and this card just like flew out. So I was like, okay, yeah. And it's funny because this is like rapid movement. And I just saw this because I feel like there's a lot going on behind the scenes and it's moving a lot faster than we think. And especially because in this I pulled the World again. And this is about expansion, about growth. And I don't know a lot about astrology, but like I read a lot of things and they really resonate for me and I can really feel them. And so Pluto just went direct. It was in like retrograde for, I want to say like 6 months maybe. And this, like when it went direct, it was like rapid expansion. And that made so much sense. And I can feel that. And I feel like that's why there's a lot of like fear and deceit, is because people are awakening. And it's happening really rapidly, fast. It's happening fast. And with the World came all tied up. So this is like a, I just noticed that this card is a 5 card, and 5 is the number of change. And so I feel like if you, if you know things are like, if you're expanding and you know that, the only reason you would get all tied up is because you're not allowing yourself to rest and be in the quiet. This is about meditation because the swords are about the mind. You can see he's in deep rest here, and it's important. And I feel like if you do this and you take the time to do this and clear your mind, you'll notice and you'll sense that it's happening very rapidly, that things are changing very rapidly, that this expansion and this like this, that's the World with like, and I just hear this, the infinite possibility is like, this is all happening very quickly, I feel. And like when I tune into energy within, I can definitely feel it happening. Like, and I've received multiple messages that things are moving very quickly, just very quickly. No, this is why, because that's what's going on behind the scenes. So this is kind of like what's hidden to us right now. And I feel like you might get all tied up, especially in timing, because divine timing is a wonderful thing. It'll test your patience and it'll make you feel all tied up, like if you get in the mind. So that's why I feel like it's important to rest the mind. And with that, I pulled celebrate differences. So maybe you're around a lot of people right now that are like contrasting you, or they don't believe in the same things you believe. I feel like this is giving you a time to like understand and to not judge and to kind of like let go of things and to kind of understand that everybody is perceiving everything differently. And it's not up to you to make people see things the way that you see them. And so I feel like just a lot of people are, it's important to like, here's the, well, this is number 3, which is always stands out to me. So 3 might be an important number to you. And then also you can see right here, the infinity symbol here, which also came with the infinite blessing. So I just feel like it's a time of rest, and you know, some people are going to want to move really fast and some people are going to want to take it slow. And I don't know, it's just about just celebrating people's differences and loving people for just who they are. That's what I feel like. Just loving people for who they are, not judging them, not trying to force anything on them, not trying to make them see it your way. Just, and maybe that's what we're learning right now, is to learning to celebrate differences, because this is what's hidden, is we're learning to celebrate differences and to celebrate how everyone sees life. And then that makes it so much easier to get along with people, is when you just realize that everybody's only just seeing from their own perception, that everyone is only seeing through their beliefs, and that just makes it a whole lot easier on yourself. So then next is, what is the advice for us this week? And I pulled and I felt this. So right away when I tapped into the collective energy, so this is the third eye chakra in reverse. This would affect like our vision, like our clairvoyance, and also our clairaudience. And what I felt right away is that like my ears were like throbbing. I'm very clairaudient, and so I always have to keep my channels very open and my auditory very open. So I always am asking, like, I ask my angels, can you clear out my auditory and visuals, especially every time after like I'm on the internet or something. It's very important to clear your energy and to, especially your, you know, like I've made that a habit, because I can be around people, or especially when I'm in crowds of people. I feel like a lot of people are clairaudient. They're receiving a lot of messages through their clairaudience, like they're hearing spirit. And this can probably be scary for some people, but they're blocking it out. So this feels very clogged. That's what it felt like when I tapped into the collective energies. Like, and my ears have become very sensitive just because I spend a lot of time in the silence. I feel like that's also why it's important to spend time in the silence, is because we're really receiving. And also with this advice, I pulled the moon, which is all about, which is actually also kind of about deceit. But I feel like in this, it's about, especially because it came with the King of Swords, is about like discerning and cutting through the illusions. And a way to do that is by listening to your intuition and what you hear from your intuition. And I feel like just a lot of people are avoiding these messages from spirit, which are really important right now. Oh, I just noticed this is a 4 card. This is also 40 and 40. So also with the third eye chakra in reverse. So you can also call upon Archangel Metatron to kind of come and help you clear out that chakra. That's really important, is working with these archangels, because oh my gosh, they're wonderful. they really help me. And so that's why I share that. But also with that, I pulled community, which also a 7 card, which is a number of like expansion and spiritual. I feel like this is a spiritual community. And I also I just feel like community, like I said, like, and then I did pull another card of community. Underneath the deck was this card, 3 of Cups, which to me, these are a lot of like, and this is about celebration and like celebrating community and it's funny because we also got this card that says celebrate differences. I feel like it's about celebration or trying to find like-minded people. And I feel like the way you do that is by listening to your intuition. Because you're going to be drawn to the right people by following your intuition. And like I've mentioned, even in watching these videos, like what resonates for you. That's what, when you feel something and it resonates deeply with you and the information feels right for you, that means that it's meant for you. And so it's about finding a community and then like showing your support. I like that this came with community. Show your support. And also, but like celebrate differences. That reminds me a lot of show your support. So I feel like it's about seeing past the illusions and using your mind to discern what is for you and what isn't for you. And by doing that, you can find the right community. You can find like-minded people, and then show your support. And if somebody's like really helping you, tell them how much they helped you, and like show your support. And so I just feel like, I don't know, this reminds me a lot of the Deceit card, both these cards, the Moon and the King of Swords. I feel like it's like seeing past this deceit and cutting through the lies. That's what it feels like. That's what I see too, especially with his sword, like, because he's like the master of his mind. The King of Swords, he's very discerned, like he has his discernment. He's very clear. He knows what he wants. And this is like deceit or things coming to the surface. And like, I like this. There's a Scorpio, and I believe that we're in, like, Venus is in retrograde now, which is all about like relationships and love and and sex and money. And so there's a lot coming up with that, and that'll be in retrograde for 40 days. So I'm not gonna lie, I felt it go retrograde when I was sleeping on, not last night, but the night before. Oh my goodness. Like I just felt this like awakening of self-love, and it was just like an explosion of love. It was the most bizarre thing. Like I woke up and I was awake for like 4 hours in the middle of the night from like 1:30 to 4:30. And I could not fall back asleep. And I had like so many creative ideas. That's why I feel like this is coming up, because it's like time to like take action on your creative ideas, because we might be feeling a lot of love for a specific like person, which is all good, but it's about using this love and channeling this love you feel for another into like your creative work. And I feel like we can kind of distort our which would be like our masculine energy is very creative. So this is like the yang. Our masculine energy is very creative and very associated with the sacral chakra, and also like sex, and like a lot of boys have been taught that their sexual energy, or that their creative energy, is like just about sex and like using it that way, but it's really about using it to create something. And so I feel like maybe there's like, and I mentioned, I think it was earlier this week, about a lot of passion, and I received multiple messages, and I feel a lot of passion, and it is about like channeling it from this like lovers. And this could be like the masculine and feminine energy with anyone. When they're united, it's very passionate. It's very passionate. And so it's about turning that passion into creation. And we can also like create a community doing that. And by creating, we can attract our community. We can attract our soulmates and our soul family. All right. And then under the deck, which this is another 4 card. This is the Door to Value in reverse. So this is saying that it's more than just about money. It's also, sorry, kind of like stalled there. Oh man, my battery's gonna die just a second. I'll be sad if I lose this all. I'm glad it warned me. I should have checked on that before. Okay, there we go. So the Door to Value is about like really valuing like our downtime and our tranquility and love, and just about like seeing the value in those things. So maybe you're not seeing a lot of money in your life right now, because also under that was blossoming abundance in reverse, which is like you may feel like money is slipping right out of your hands. So you may feel like you're in a situation like this, but I feel like it's just like teaching you to come back to these other qualities that are very valuable and that add value to your life. And then I already shared the one that was the community card, 3 of Cups. So just like celebration. I feel very like excited, and I feel like this was a very positive reading for this week. And then I love both these, actually I'm going to share, but this one is intuition, and I love this card. So this is all about like, and the cards under the deck are kind of like the overall like the overall energy of the reading, kind of. So I feel like it's very important to use your intuition right now. Very important. It's going to be leading you to the things that are meant for you. And then with that, I got clear out the old. So I feel like this like downtime, like this time is like a time to clear out the old, clear out this like remaining deceit and self-sabotage and the fear. And so you can have something new, because under that comes, these are just going to be renewal of peace. I like this card. Renewal of peace. When you clear out the old, when you follow your intuition and you clear out the old, because I feel like a lot of relationships and just old things are going to start falling away. This is important. Let them go so that you can have like this, where'd it go? Renewal of peace. You'll just start to begin to feel so good. Like you don't need to be surrounded by people all the time. And then the last one I just want to share, because this feels important too. Illumination. Because this came with the moon card, which is about seeing through the deception. Kind of like the veil is super thin right now too, especially because it is October. So it's just that kind of month. It's a very feminine month, I feel. And so we're really seeing through, especially because like when Pluto went direct, and it's like about rapid ascension and rapid growth. Like I said, I think things are moving very quickly, and this can be very troublesome to our mind because our mind can't comprehend it. So that's why it's important to get out of your mind, because you can experience a lot of anxiety. And anxiety is like you're just creating what you don't want. That's what anxiety is you're creating what you don't want. It's a waste of creating. So that's why it's important to get out of your mind. And that's also this one too. Be true to your heart. So get more into your heart space and follow your heart, follow your intuition. And it's leading you to like this renewal of peace. It's leading you to like new experiences and possibilities, which may seem scary because they're new and they're unfamiliar, they're unknown. But that's where we grow, and that's where we learn, and that's where we like become the best like versions of ourselves, and where we learn about ourselves. And that's what we really came here to do, is just learn about ourselves. So especially through relationships and communities and friendships and through our soulmates and our soul families, as we came to learn. And so I feel like it's about learning what the relationships you're in right now and just kind of going from there. So I think that's all I've got for the week. I hope you have a wonderful week wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, and I'm sending lots of love.